Guys, today we're making Spanish chicken and rice. This is one of my favorite recipes to make in the middle of the week. I was born and raised in Spain. I feel like I'm eating paella, but not. It's a quick and simple recipe you're gonna wanna make at home. So this recipe comes together in a pan with sides and a lid and the skillet. This is a brazier pan that I have right here. But if you don't have one of these large braziers, you can also use any large pan with a lid. You're gonna want one with sides, so when you put your chicken thighs and your rice, there's room for the rice to cook, and you're gonna want a lid so you can cook the chicken and the rice for another 20 minutes. The first thing we wanna do is get a really good sear on our chicken thighs skin. This is a bone-on, skin-on. Why? Because it's juicier. It's gonna add a lot of flavor to our rice. So to my pan, I'm going to add some olive oil. You're going to want to put your chicken skin side down right onto the pan. Now, once it's on there, you do not want to touch your chicken, okay? Just place it where you're gonna cook it. Now, we are searing these chicken thighs on the skin side for about 5 minutes just to get a really golden and sealing that juices of the chicken. And after that, we can flip them and cook the other side. Now, once your chicken thighs are seared on both sides, you're just gonna take your kitchen tongs and remove them from the pan onto a plate. But don't touch the drippings because you are gonna want those to brown your onions and your other vegetables. All right, guys, so up next, we are going to cook our onions and vegetables, and I have an onion that I previously chopped and it's even frozen. So if you don't feel like chopping, grab those freezer onions and use them for this recipe. Shortcuts are totally great. Whatever gets you cooking in the middle of the week, that's great too. I would maybe even use frozen peppers. You can use that too. The idea here is to save a little time with some shortcuts so you can get real food meals on the table really quickly. But I'm just simply going to take my knife and chop my bell pepper. So you're gonna wanna dice these peppers, give or take the same size as your onions, so they cook at the same time, but because it's gonna be cooking with your rice, they're gonna be soft and delicious with your meal. To my heated pan, I'm gonna add my onions. And at the same time, I'm going to add my peppers. Now again, I'm using red bell peppers, but if you have a green one or a yellow one, use that as well. We wanna get these cooking until they're nice and soft. And they're gonna absorb all those flavors from the chicken. As these cook around, I'm going to add my garlic cloves. I have garlic paste here, but you can use chopped garlic, crushed garlic, grated garlic. Now guys, remember, I always put the measurements for all of my recipes in the description box below this video so you can just really enjoy the video, cook along, and then print out the recipe and have a good time in the middle of the week. To my veggies, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Now I'm using saffron because I am from Spain and it is, quote, Spanish rice. If you don't have saffron strings, you can use paprika for this, so it'll color your rice nicely. It also adds flavor. So I'm just taking my saffron strings and putting them right over my veggies. Now, if you're wondering, can I make this recipe with chicken thighs that are boneless and skinless? Absolutely. The chicken thighs, you still wanna brown them. It's gonna take a little less time and cook faster, but it's good just like this. But everything else, or even chicken breasts, but make sure you cook mostly your chicken breasts through because they tend to be thick. You could even use chicken tenders, you know. Again, don't clean your pan. You wanna leave the tidbits there to flavor all of your veggies. And I do have a bay leaf I'm gonna add in for seasoning. I wanna toast it in here, but if you don't have a bay leaf, my grandmother would tell you just to skip it and make this dish another day, but I'm telling you, go ahead and make it. So quiero admit, we actually used to have a bay leaf tree in our backyard, and we always had bay leaves that are available. You have more leaves than you can actually cook with. It's cool. We throw them in beans and rice and anything that you add liquid to, you could just throw a bay leaf. Now, right about now, I am inhaling the scent of these veggies with the garlic, the bay leaf, like all of it. And that is when you are going to want to toast your rice. I'm gonna throw it right over here on my pan. And I also want my rice to absorb all of these flavors before I put in my liquid. Up next, I'm going to add my liquid. I'm using chicken broth. You can use chicken stock, vegetable, whatever you have around, even water if you don't have it, but I do have some chicken broth available. So I'm gonna add it to my rice. and stir it around to make sure that there's no rice stuck to the bottom of the pan. It also helps release any of the last chicken tidbits, and you definitely want those. Okay, so now that I put my liquid in here, I'm going to place my chicken right in my pan once again, because the chicken needs to be finished fully cooking, and we also want the rice to absorb the chicken flavor. So now that my chicken is in my pan, I'm going to make sure my heat is reduced to medium heat and then bring the liquid up to a simmer. I'm gonna cover it and cook it for about 30 minutes while I clean up the rest of the kitchen. All right guys, so in the last 5 minutes of cooking, you are gonna wanna take your peas, open your lid, and put them right over the top. Even if they're frozen, no biggie, don't worry about it. Just close it back on, keep cooking the rice until it's ready. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. This is what I'm gonna eat for lunch when we cut this video, so I can't wait. The chicken is cooked through, but of course, if you wanna check it, it should be to an internal temperature of 175 Fahrenheit because it is dark meat, chicken thighs, whether it's bone-in or boneless, 175. If you're chicken breasts for the recipe, it's 165. And then of course our rice is, doesn't it look beautiful? All right guys, let's plate this chicken and rice. I'm going to just grab some of my rice right here. Check it out, all the veggies and my chicken right on it. So let's try the rice first. Tastes like chicken, all the seasonings. Our veggies are cooked. Let's cut the chicken. So good. You're definitely going to want to get the recipe for this Spanish chicken and rice. It's gonna be right below the video, along with more chicken recipes, a chicken ebook that's perfect for midweek meals. And then, of course, while you're down there, hit that red subscribe button. You and I get to hang out together and cook a few times a week. See you next time.